I'm fine. They're scared. They're wondering, they've called like, I don't know, 100 times a day. You okay? So I have to
I'm
keep.
doing that with my little brother. He's 10
I'm
years
getting.
younger than me. He's
Yeah.
probably going to croak first.
I get lots of calls. You okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine. And just scary as shit. That's all. And you know, shit. I'm not
So,
telling. I'm
John,
not talking about
can you,
anybody more than
John,
probably 80% of our Blue Dot family already experienced or knows. So, okay, let's
John,
see. Yes.
John,
Yeah. Yeah.
can you just quickly, very quickly, because don't know what's happened, can you just tell me quickly what happened with the people, with Travis and you? What happened? Quickly.
Well,
Not a
it
full
was a
story.
big
Just,
fight, and it was going fine until Travis whipped out the knife, and then it was on, and then Marcia grabbed her rope and tied her hands together, and there he with her. No, it was no such thing.
Something about this sounds like bullshit.
I woke up Monday morning to a slight heart attack, and
to a what?
heart attack.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had an elephant, go figure, Republican, sitting on my chest, and
Yep.
I couldn't breathe, and it was scary, and
My God.
and all that shit, and that sums it up.
This sounds very, very morbid, but John, I have many of the exact same things wrong with me as you're talking about, and you're a couple years older than me, not a lot.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, the same thing's wrong with me. What did you feel? What did you know was happening? When did you know that this was real?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I get sometimes.
As soon as I opened my eyes, yeah, as soon as I opened my eyes, it was a sharp pain. I tried to dismiss it.
Across your whole chest?
Centered and then radiating up to my left side. Left leg kind of tingling, all sorts of shit going on. And yeah. Well, no, not radiating and so much pain in the arm. It's just near the shoulder. And,
jaw?
No.
No,
I got up. I got up. What I'm getting my shit jumped into is I got up for a while and tried to just have my coffee and sit in there and wait for it to go away. Until I realized it wasn't going away, and I had to go in and wake up Tyler and tell him.
Oh, you better get me to the emergency room.
Let's go, buddy. But
and you went to the hosptal.
Yes, yeah.
And they gave you an injection to get the heart.
Yeah,
they
did everything. Did all the EKG and gave me an IV and stuff, and recommended I go to the hospital and be admitted. We decided.
And
not
you said
to.
no.
I'm not good at hospitals, Dave. Make
Nor
the fucking appointments for whatever tests you want to run, and I'll come in and I'll do it. I'll take the medicine you give me. I'll try to calm my ass down. I'll do all the shit that you're talking about, but I'd rather do it at home. And
don't lock me up.
It's yeah. There's, you want to put stress on me, remove me from this house, and put me someplace where I can't be here when I'm needed. And we're not going to play that game. And so,
especially when home is where you're probably the most relaxed.
That it is indeed.
With your asshole neighbors, that ain't saying a lot, but it probably is where you're most relaxed.
Well, they promote that over here now with people saying people are concerned being released too early. You're better off. They say now you're better off at home where you are in comfortable surroundings.
In a lot of situations, not in all, but. In a lot of situations,
if I got a bullet hole, I'm going to the hospital.
You're bleeding a lot. Well, stay in the hospital. Until that shit quits bleeding. But no, I do have to make some serious life changes. Smoking was the first one I had to go. So there you go. And like I said, I'm as I speak, I'm looking around, thinking to myself, why didn't I bring something in here to eat? It's all right.
Not to take up the time here on that
note, before I let this. Wait a minute, Leo. Just a second, because I need to make. I don't know if it's still popping up. I told Travis to take this down. Before anybody gets a bright idea, please, and I thank you very much of sending John some candy or something. Please know that the post office box that we had, like many things, inflation goes up everywhere. It was not a luxury I could afford anymore. To keep that box open, so please don't waste your time and money sending me a gift or something to that post office. There's lots of blue dots out there to have my home address, and if you need it, contact me, and I will give it to you. It's not something I try to hide, but I guess you shouldn't say it live on whatever.
Well, you know,
Travis would hit me in the head.
You mentioned inflation, right?
Yeah.
Inflation over here has gone through the roof, and in Asia. In the last 4 years, 5 years, things have doubled. Now, you know why your inflation was bad and your petrol went really bad, more than it should have? Because of Donald Trump's tariffs.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tariffs did a big chunk on us, and they're also finding out now that a lot of corporations jacked up prices just because they could.
Because they hear the word inflation on the news, and gas prices go up, and even companies that did not have a reason, like the one I'm thinking of, and I can't think of right now, Tyson Chicken, I think. I'll take it back if I'm wrong, but I think.
Chicken's got stupid expensive. Oh, just ridiculous.
There was a policy that Obama brought in, and Trump killed it, which was a policy that stopped companies from gouging. It was some sort of clever policy that Obama had done, and Trump removed it, and that's when it got bad for you guys as well, because they couldn't do this.
It's capitalism at its finest. If there's profit to be made, it will be made. That's the biggest reason we have to fight against this is fascism. It is when corporations take over the fucking world, baby, and you're just a serf. Back in the dark ages, yeah.
There is a familiar name and also an unfamiliar name with their hands up down below.
Oh. Well, let me.
I would love to hear new voices.
Well, no, I know both of them.
Trying to say, Dave.
And while we bring David and Nina in, before I do that, I do want to send out another personal thank you to somebody who knows who I'm talking about, and that was the pleasant conversation we had this morning on our phones, texting back and forth about the other serious matter in the universe today, and that was the James Webb telescopes released this morning, and we were both watching it live and both just awed by what we saw, by what that implies, the questions that it raises, the big,
isn't it?
It's huge. It's huge.
We're gonna start being able to tell if a planet's habitable or not just from the telescope.
From the spectrum, they're already telling there's oxygen and hydrogen, neon, all the chemicals that we're made up of are on those planets. But I just wanted her to know I enjoyed that conversation so much, and it was a great way to start my day. And anyway,
before you bring anybody else in, John, I'm going to leave you, but I'm going to tell you that there are a couple of things I want to go over with your health stuff. I want to talk to you some maybe tomorrow, and it's really for my information, because you can probably teach me a thing or two now.
Yeah, if you're smoking, quit.
No, you know I did that.
Yeah, that's true. You did that already.
Anyway, y'all take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciation for what we have, Leo. I think that's the we don't have much. We're like so many families that battle every freaking month with your budget and life in general and everything. But it's times like that when you back up and you go, well, wait, I'm still here.
Yeah, we don't mind. I don't have much, but I sure do like what I've got.
There you go. Indeed. Well, Leo, I appreciate you coming by, brother. I love you. Keep using your voice, brother. We need it more now than ever, brother. So
I will be talking to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, bro.
All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And David Robinson, a.k.a. Badass, how are you doing?
Hey, John. How are you tonight? I'm glad you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
That's good. Trust me. You don't want a zipper on your chest.
No.
No.
Let's keep the knives away. I got enough scars on my back. Shit, I got big old lines going down my back. No, I don't want none of that up front. So.
Yeah, in October it'll be 20 years since I had 5-way heart bypass.
Boy, how shit.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm so glad we've talked the last few days, brother.
Yeah. I woke up in the middle of the night sweating and with that elephant sitting on my chest.
How come it's always a freaking Republican sitting on our chest. God damn.
Yeah,
I
no
can't wake
shit.
up and think, oh, there's a donkey sitting on my chest. No,
Could you?
because it's not
Could you
that donkey
breathe,
doing
John?
it. Huh?
And of
Could you
course,
breathe?
Could I breathe? Not,
Yeah,
not
you
very
actually-
well.
Right. Okay.
Not very well, no. I tried to get up and thought that would go away, but it just wasn't.
well, you know what I
And
did?
at
I
a
was
certain
heavy-
moment in time, after I got up and left the bedroom, then I knew I was in trouble.
You're lucky it wasn't a massive heart attack, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thankful for what happened, and it was minor. It was just enough to give a good wake-up call that if you don't change your life, this is going to get worse. And part of
Oh
it,
yeah.
I do understand, is the hardest thing to do is to control your emotions when you're a passionate person, and it doesn't matter what the fuck I'm doing. I usually try to put everything I have into it. I don't give a shit if I'm welding something, if I'm being romantic with my wife, or speaking my mind. It's the passion that you put into life that has always been that reward for living that life. And I haven't lived a perfect life. I changed my ways, thankfully, when I was young. When I was young and anyway, a long time.
Don't worry, John.
Yeah.
You just
It's-
seen your life flash before your eyes. And
Yeah,
that's
basically.
Scary.
Hey, I was happy with
Yeah.
most of it, though. Don't worry. There's a couple things went by when, oh shit, shouldn't have done that shit.
Did you take pictures?
Yeah, I did, really, in my mind. During the hours I was in the ER room, yeah, that kind of shit does kind of, when everybody's
Yeah.
gone out of the room, you're hooked out to the machines and all that shit, and you're listening to that beep, beep, beep shit, and you have those moments to reflect upon, what the fuck if I check out now? What the fuck? I'm not done.
I can
That's
tell.
right.
I'm not
I can
done.
tell you something, John. Having been there several times myself, there's no lonelier feeling than that.
Oh, when you're alone in that room, it's not good. Travis had just stepped out for a little while. He stayed with me the whole time. Tyler was
okay.
back here with Marcia taking care of her. Yeah, it. But luckily, the pain subsided. They gave me shit, and I could breathe again. And as I sat there, I started feeling better. The pains went away. At that point, it became a recommendation that, oh, well, maybe you should just go in the hospital, check in, we'll run some more tests. And like I said, I'm not good.
You take aspirin, John?
time. Yes. Are you shitting me? I always take aspirin, and then when I'm in the emergency room, they come in there with 4 of them little fuckers and say, here, choose these. And
Yep.
so, yeah. You're right, God, that at some point you have to be done. Nobody lives forever, and that's true. We won't live forever. And somehow I take solace in that, in the fact that because I am passionately concerned about my country, during those moments, there was time to reflect on the history of people that have stood up for this country. And I'm not claiming that I am included in some of those names, but in my small part, I am very proud that the day he was elected, I fucking stood up then. I'm so proud of that fact, that I didn't wait, that I knew what I saw, and I wasn't afraid to say it.
Can I tell you a secret, John?
Ah.
None of the great men that stood up in this country for this country did so alone.
No.
There were all these voices underneath them. That support swelled up to
Next
a point.
to them, not behind, next to them. Next to them.
Exactly.
Can I just let me lighten the mode here, or the mood, or the whatever you want to call it, the atmosphere. Let me tell you about the latest video out on YouTube. Hunter Biden weighing on the scales crack cocaine.
I got a better one. It's where'd it go? Oh shit! I gotta read this.
Rebel HQ, guys. If you want to know, I tried to post it, but it wouldn't post. But Hunter Biden on video weighing 2 grams of crack cocaine on scales, and talking like a kid. The fucking children of these presidents are just fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know. But now the GOP is making their talking point. I mean, let's talk about Don Jr. and his fucking cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're going to try to
Suggest that Daddy takes cocaine as well. Yeah, they're going to do all that shit.
yeah, no.
This is why Hunter Biden stutters. It's because he's a cokehead.
Yeah, they want to talk cokeheads. Like talk about Don Jr.
They're desperate for a distraction. They know
I
that
just
they're
wanted
on the
to
road.
toss this out real quick. If you're wondering why I laughed, it was because Goth Bosch Incarnate wrote a comment and it said, "I'll cheer up. Being dead is wonderful. It's getting dead that is the difficult part." And thank you for putting that smile on my face. Ain't being dead that's the problem. You won't know anything about it anyway. It's that getting dead part. Nobody wants.
There is something after death. There's something after death, and it's normally pretty good.
Yeah, I hope. If not, I won't know about it. I mean, you know, I'm pretty well reserved myself. My mind will go blank at a certain time, and that's going to be it. I don't want to get into the afterlife part of it. Y'all know I'm an atheist, and I do believe that when you're gone, you're gone. That's it. The best that we can. This is the way I always put it. You will live on as far as people remember you, people talk about you, your family, your friends. You'll live in a memory. That's the best any of us can hope for. Those that have stood out in history is great. We still talk their names. Everything from Julius Caesar to, that Jesus fella. I don't know how they quoted him, but they got it. You know, it's, I don't know. There's so much shit that crosses your mind.
The church has got a lot to answer for, mate. And
yeah,
religion.
they do. Don't make me say what I always say because I'm not in the mood to say it. But anyway, getting back to the rat killing. So what's DOJ? What's DOJ gonna do about Donnie?
I think they're going to leave him till last.
Biggest problem with that is we're not going to know until we know.
I know.
I mean, honestly, our DOJ, this DOJ, and most Democrat DOJs, to be honest, are almost leak-proof. I was always amazed how leaky Barr was, of all people. I knew he was corrupt as hell, but I didn't think he was that incompetent. I mean, Merrick Garland said a lot of things about him. He's not incompetent.
I am giving him the benefit of every doubt I have because I am anxious to see something happen. We've all been witness to this committee. We're all witness to what we saw on January 6th and all the shit that we've seen between then and now.
And don't get me wrong, Merrick Garland is a poor choice for the job right now. I'm totally convinced of that. We would have been better off with somebody like Glenn Kirshner, for example. Somebody with a little more youth and energy.
Better Supreme Court justice than he did a Department of Justice. I don't know.
He would have been an excellent judge, methodical, thoughtful, great.
So. And that's the benefit that I'm giving him now is that he is methodical and he crosses his T's, he dots his I's, he does everything by the book. That's why he was recommended for the Supreme Court, and
why a lot of Republicans wanted him on the Supreme Court too. The older school neocons. Pre-Trump Republicans. But I'll tell you one thing, and this is the problem I have with Biden too. They are still treating the Republican Party and Republicans in general like they're honorable, like they don't lie all the time, like they can somehow be brought back into the fold. And we really need to get to the point where we just stop doing that. They're going to lie. They're going to do every single horrible thing that they can. We shouldn't worry about them doing it. We should plan on them doing it.
They're going to. How are they going to move forward now?
They're going to challenge everything that happens in November. You know that November's going to be a shit fight, don't you?
Yes, it is.
They're going to challenge.
I plan on getting bloody in November.
That's how come the turnout has to be undeniably obvious that the Democrats have to come out in force this year, in 4 months. We can't wait for 2024 to start this shit because then it's going to be much, much nastier if we give them time. In the 2 years between now and in the next presidential election, baby, we're asking for trouble. We either step up, face this shit now, and deal with it, or it's going to be a huge, huge problem in 24.
And I want to echo something that Bernadette says all the time. Do not believe any media source that's telling you that this election is decided.
No.
They're trying to suppress your vote. You vote. You tell everyone you can to vote.
Listen to the mainstream media right now, and they're all singing the same song. Well, the Republicans look like they have an advantage. How can that be? With the, I saw, I think it was in the Washington Post, that either there or the New York Times or something, was a story that within the Republican Party, Donnie is at a 37% approval rating. Within the Republican Party, that's less than half. I am trying to be hopeful of that story. I hope it's true. I hope the numbers were to hold up. I do try to remind myself that it is the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, the ones that yell, and the Trumpers out there screaming about blood, like that guy up in Missouri. That they're the minority in the conservative party, and I think that Congressman Raskin today posed a good question about the Republican Party. This is them. Either they do something within their party, because the people running across this country for key positions, everything from governor to Secretary of State to Attorney General of these states, Texas being one of them. Are you shitting me? You're allowing these people who are obviously continuing to push the big lie and continuing to push a divide in our country. And if the Republican Party doesn't step up and do something, then we only can make that suggest that they're complicit, that they approve of it, that they don't want to be. They want to be the good guys that stand around and do nothing to stop bad things, and it's not the equation, baby. It's not the equation. When you fail to do something, you're no longer the good person.
Biden is trying to distance himself so far that he's distanced himself too far. He doesn't want to make it look political by weighing in with comments, and I think that's where they are.
I don't think, because of the situation the country is in right now with inflation, and unfortunately, a vast majority of our population pin that on whoever is in office. And
of course I do.
And the sad story of that is, over my life, I have watched Republican after Republican come into this office, kick the garbage can over, steal everything they can, change as many fucking rules as they can to help business, and then walk out the door leaving the country as in a pile of shit. And then a Democrat has to come in to clean it up while being blamed for the sad state the country's in. No,
going all the way back
this
to
is
Nixon.
Donnie's bullshit that we're cleaning up. And Joe Biden is doing a damn good job of it.
He took over a very corrupt White House, and he had to work with that. And he had to work with a lot of resistance.
It took a while just to be able to chase the cockroaches out that you knew of, that were still visible. And they're still